Hello, and thank you so much for signing up for Deepening the Asana Experience, the Advanced Yoga Teacher Training with Pranakriya Yoga. My name is Pam Blum, and I am the director for the program. There are 4 asana programs, perhaps 5 if you want to count gentle. This one is yoga workout number 1. There are 11 postures, and of those 11, 8 of them are standing. And what I've done is I thought it would be helpful for those who are going through the program to have a daily practice that is sort of targeted to be prepared for those particular postures. And what I did is make a list of all the preparatory poses, and there are almost 30 of them that are recommended to practice in order to really be prepared to dive into things like headstand and eagle and balancing half moon, and they're a fair amount of sky gazer and inclined plane. So I broke it down into 2 sections, and this first practice is very short, and again it's focused primarily on the postures, not a lot of pranayama or meditative qualities, but the practice will be targeting the postures that keep coming up repeatedly, and there's about 12 of them. So I hope this proves to be helpful. And what I'm going to suggest is this 30-minute will be primarily the standing, and then I'll do a separate one that is mainly around hips for preparing to get into lotus pose, because there's a lot of external rotation in some of these postures that we will deconstruct and reconstruct. And then also in that second 30-minute, we'll focus on hips as well as shoulders, scapula stabilization to be really prepared for headstand. And we may not even get into headstand, but it is the journey that is the most important. So for this standing practice, for a lot of the balance and standing postures, I'm going to suggest we warm up with breath of joy. So first of all, take a few shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Root your feet down about shoulder width apart, and as you feel your shoulder blades gliding on your rib cage. And then come to center and maybe roll your head a little side to side. Nice deep breath there. And just releasing through your cervical spine, feeling your feet on the ground, tall body, and then bend your knees and circle through your hips a few times. And this is sort of assuming that you're coming into this, rather cold, not warmed up. Reverse in the other direction, breathe deeply. And then for breath of joy, remember that is 3 quick inhales, and the idea is to breathe into your lower lungs, your middle lungs, and your upper lungs. So, and then to exhale all the air out. That's also done with sort of loose coat sleeve arms. So if you bend your knees like little springs almost, let your arms be nice and loose. Your arms go forward, side, up, and then down. And when you come down toward the floor, be sure to use your legs. So it looks like this. Let's do a few more rounds. Really sink into the ground. Be loose in your arms. And fill up your lungs, as well as emptying completely. 3 more rounds. Nice. And then let your arms come to stillness all by yourself, or all by themselves. Might separate your feet a little wider, do an easy coat sleeve to get a little rotation in your spine. And you might lift your back heel and pivot on your toe if that feels okay. You can follow with your head. That surely wakes up all of your vestibular system to prepare you for some of these balance poses. So keep a dirga breath, a nice smooth breath, and let this come to stillness all by itself. And then start at the front of your mat in mountain pose. Root down strong into Tadasana. Feel your heels rooted, your toes outstretched, legs strong. Hips level and spine elongated, shoulders relaxed. And as you inhale, stretch your arms out and up in a sun breath. As you exhale, swan dive and fold your belly onto your thighs. Let's inhale and rise halfway, lengthening your spine. Exhale and fold belly to thighs. Press through your heels to reverse this and come up with a long spine. Lengthen at the top, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's do 2 more sun breaths. Inhale, sweep up. As you exhale, stay very long, hinging at your hips, belly to your thighs. Inhale, open up the hip joints so your spine stays long there. Exhale and fold. Reverse swan dive, drive through your heels. Use your hamstrings and your glutes to lift you up and elongate. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and stay tall. One more time. Inhale, sweep up. As you exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, open and lengthen. Exhale, fold. In a reverse swan dive, leading from your hips, your glutes. Inhale, rise. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's add on to this. Inhale, sweep out and up. Exhale, out to fold over. Inhale, rise again halfway. Keep filling your lungs. Empty as you place your hands down. Step back to down dog in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pressing your hands down. Pedal out through your heels. Wake up your feet, your arches. As you stretch your toes out, and you kind of lifting one heel. Come up onto the ball of your foot and stretch through the neck of your toes, as well as the arch and through your Achilles. You might pivot both heels to the right, stretch your left hip way up and back. Really press with your arms, and then bend your knees through the center. Pivot both heels over toward the left, and press your right hip way up and back. Deep breath. And then as you exhale, lower your knees down to the ground. Inhale, lifting into uncat or cow. And as you exhale, round into cat. Do this a few times, feeling articulation in your spine. Being cautious not to compress your neck, so you don't need to lift your chin nor jam your chin to your chest too much. Stay long in an arc in your spine. Also feel your shoulder blades gliding together as you're in uncat and then apart as you're in cat. Take a few hip circles here. Deep breath with your knees either together to create a tight little fulcrum, or maybe it feels better to you to have your knees a little bit apart. But breathe deeply and create a nice even circle all around your knees. Reverse in the other direction a few times. This also has the added benefit of warming up your shoulder joints as well. And then come to center. With your knees together and hands under shoulders, extend your right foot behind you, right leg, and plant your right foot. Roll to your left knee and reach your right arm up in the air. This is sort of a side kneeling half bow. Reach back and catch hold of your ankle and kick your toes back. Think dancer-like. Now once you catch hold of your ankle, if you use the strength of your leg to press back, your arm is passive. So let it pull your arm into extension. Take several deep breaths. You can lift your chin and open through your throat. You can let your left ear come toward your shoulder, which is a nice release through the side of your neck. And release your right foot. Step it up to the front of the mat for knee down warrior. And as you inhale, sweep both arms up. Stabilize there with front knee over front ankle. Use the whole length of your back shin to anchor strongly into the ground. And as you exhale, sweep both hands behind. Clasp your fingers behind your tail, knuckles down, and lift your chest a little. Take several deep breaths here. Really press the palms together, so get a good clasp, even if you have to bend your elbows to get your hands together. And then release your fingers. Bring your hands to either side of your front foot. Pull your hips back and bend and come forward. And just move in and out of this a few times. Keep your belly on your front thigh, so you maintain a strong fold at your hip crease. And as you roll, move back and forth, feel the length in the back of your leg. Not too much of a pull, or keep the don't want to target right where the attachment is. Want to keep the whole length of the back of the leg stretching. Next time you pull back, Hang out there for a couple of breaths. And again, making sure that it's not targeted. If you feel too much pull right at your sitting bone, bend your knee a little bit. And then bend that front knee, tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee, slip back to down dog. Take a few deep breaths in there. If you still want to wiggle around in your down dog, you sure can, bending and straightening your knees, or you're moving through ankles. You can even soften and straighten your elbows. Let's take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower both knees. Left leg goes back this time and plant it to the floor for a moment as you open your left arm up. You can keep your right shin in line, which is a little more of a balance challenge, or swivel your right foot behind you a little bit. So find the perfect place to plant. Be strong, standing out of your right knee. Lift the left leg, reach back and grab your left ankle. And if that's not happening, keep reaching back toward it. There are many other poses to help you to, to find this extension. If you do grab it, start kicking back. Let your arm be passive. And you can adjust the position of your head to explore any strengthening or lengthening that is possible there. Let's take one more full breath. And then release your foot. Step it up toward the front of your mat again into knee down lunge. So you can adjust your stride and then rise out and up into knee down warrior. So really on the ground here, press down into your left foot as well as the whole length of your right shin. Rise out and up, and if that Yoga Mudrasana, hand position, if that feels okay to you, clasp your fingers. Again, even if your elbows are bent, get your palms together, reach your knuckles down, lift your chest up, and then you might start to move your hands a little away from your hips. Take one more full breath here. And then exhale, bring your hands down, keeping your spine long so your belly sort of stretches out along your front thigh. Move forward and back a few times. If blocks might be helpful, you could put those under your hands here to keep your spine long. So you want to avoid, collapsing, and really feel the length in the back of the leg when you move your hips back, and then in the psoas, your hip flexor, on the other side. Let's pull back and hold for a few breaths. Roll, maybe internal and externally rotate your left thigh. You can have your arms out long to help you to lengthen your torso. And keeping your gaze lifted helps to keep your spine long as well. Bend your front knee, tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee, and let's step up to forward fold. So parallel feet, root down through your heels, stretch out through your toes. And as you inhale, rise halfway. As you exhale, fold your belly to your thighs. Press through your heels, soar out, up and open, a little back bend. And then exhale, bring it down into a squat, Utkatasana. And keep your thumbs at your heart. Keep your spine long. And Ujjayi breath might be helpful here. So breathe full, strong, steady, smooth breaths. Press strong into your right heel. Curl your left heel straight up to your bum. So you kind of have a single-legged squat. Keep your jaw relaxed and your breath full. Reach your left leg back kind of slow and find your place for warrior one. Once you're stable and your left heel points straight up, the back leg's very strong. Open both arms and stretch up. Let's take a very deep breath. As you exhale, twist toward your front leg. So twist toward the right arm back, and left arm forward. And feel this sort of pulling apart with your arms. Find equal reaching through your arms and equal pressing into both legs. Now the back arm, your arms are going to do a slow windmill. The back arm goes down as the front arm comes up. You follow your front arm until you turn all the way around to the other side, side warrior. So you lower your left heel now, and your left toes are turned in a little more than the heel. In your Parsva Virabhadrasana, sink deep into your front lunge. Reach your arms equally in both directions. Flip your front palm. Keep your breath smooth. Now that same sort of windmill, right arm goes up as the left arm goes down. Reach pretty willfully here to feel length in your right side. For cowhead arms, bend your right elbow, walk your fingers down your back, and reach out with your left hand to give yourself a little help in continuing to walk your fingers down. If it feels good, you can side bend, lateral flex, reach the right elbow up and back. And come out of that side bend, stay tall, straighten your front leg. Turn your toes to the long edge of your mat. Your feet are parallel, so you're in a wide stance. Open the left arm wide to the side and really reach through your left arm. Carve a very long arc as you reach the arm down, down, down behind you. When you can reach no further, bend the left elbow. Walk the back of your hand up your body so you have the back of your left hand facing your body, the front of your palm of your right hand. So your fingers are reaching toward each other. And maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Try to avoid jutting your ribs out. Keep your spine long. And point your right elbow up, your left elbow down. Keep your neck relaxed as well. It's easy to, drive your chin forward. Now soften your knees. Keep your body weight in your heels. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, hinge forward just into jackknife. So you build a ton of core strength here. Holding shoulders a little higher than your hips. Keeping your body weight pretty balanced in both feet. Press down strong through your heels. Lift your tailbone and keep the natural curve in your low back. Smooth, easy breath. Right elbow points forward, left elbow points back. And as you inhale, reach out through your right elbow to come all the way up. And then release your arms, reaching out where you started. Pivot your right toes forward. And you might heel toe in a little bit if you got a little wide. This is for triangle. Straight, strong legs. Reach your right arm forward. And there's all that length again in your right side body. So remember your hips tip over. Right sitting bone reaches towards your left ankle. And keep your torso where it is. Stack your arms in line with your shoulders. Now sometimes you might need a little help if you want to press the back of your right hand, to the inside of your right calf or knee. But if that's not necessary, then keep your arms in line with your shoulders and perhaps look up. Keep rolling your top hip back and your bottom hip forward. And relax your toes. You don't need to grip the mat with your toes. As you inhale, come back up into your triangle, or where you started. Palms down, bend your right knee. You're back into Virabhadrasana, side warrior. I'm going to do that slow motion windmill one more time. Lower the left arm past your left. As soon as it passes the left leg, the right arm's lifting. Your back heel lifts, and you're back into Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Now bend your elbows into cactus. Shift your torso forward over the front thigh. So you're going to transfer body weight to your front leg. And feel this transfer with a sense of control. Push off the back leg and lift your left knee and stand tall. Now open the left knee into tree, Vrikshasana. You can put your foot on your calf. You can reach down and give yourself some help and step on your thigh. Sweep your hands behind and find Yoga Mudrasana again. So clasp your palms, reach your knuckles down. Keep opening the left knee as you lift your chest and your gaze, and maybe move your hands away from your tail. And then release that, hands on your hips. Step your left foot back about 2 feet. So a little closer now. This is a stride stance, right, to prepare you for twisted triangle. So let's hinge forward from your hips into jackknife. Square your hips with your hands on your hips. You can kind of pull your right hip back a little if it needs to have your waistline equal on both sides. Now you can pause right here. You can build a ton of strength right there. You could open arms wide. You could reach them up overhead. If you can fold a little further, start to lengthen your belly along your front thigh. Reach your fingers toward the floor. You can walk way out in front. You can walk your hands back to help you fold. Take a few smooth breaths. And keep your spine long. If you're going to twist, root down strong into your back heel. Left fingers can stay under your shoulder. Right hand to your hip. And then twist and look to the right. Maybe You reach your right arm up in the air. Smooth breath. And as you exhale, lower your hand, step your left foot up to forward fold, empty your lungs. Inhale, come up halfway, exhale, fold, and then a reverse swan dive, press through your heels, soar out and up in a little back bend, and exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So that's the sequence I had in mind. Let's do it on the other side. So stand tall in mountain, and as you inhale, reach out and up and open. As you exhale, squat, Utkatasana. So squat comes up pretty often in these standing poses. It's one of the basic fundamental or foundational, strength building postures for your lower body. Be sure to sit back into your heels, your knees move back. You're working to keep your chest up. So it's tendency to sort of sink down really low. Keep your chest lifted as much as possible. And there's a bit of a balance challenge right there. You can open your arms in cactus. Press strong into your left heel. Becomes a lot more of a balance challenge when we take away one of your legs. Curl your right heel up to your tail. So a lot of hamstring strength there. Keep the knee pulled in close. And then reach your leg back in preparation or to transition to Warrior One. In Virabhadrasana 1, reach your arms up. Take a few deep breaths here. Press strong through your back heel. And keep your spine vertical. Now as you exhale, I'm going to twist toward the front leg. So twist to the left, split your arms, and reach pretty willfully, equally in both directions. So the left arm reaching back, right arm reaching forward. Easy shoulders. Relax your neck and your jaw. Now take that slow windmill. Left arm goes down. Simultaneously, the right arm's moving in opposition, and you follow the right arm, turning to the right, lowering your right heel for Parshva Virabhadrasana. Adjust your feet if you need to. Back foot's turned in a little. Feel anchored and even in both feet, equal reaching through both arms. Flip your front palm, sweep it straight up as the back arm goes down. Find more length and space in your left side. Bend your left elbow. Reach with your right hand to grab your left elbow and help yourself to walk your fingers down your spine. Stay deep in your lunge and lateral flex, a little bit like, exalted warrior. Sometimes it's called a reverse warrior. Lateral flex toward the back of your mat. Breathe deeply while you continue to bend the front knee. And keep your left fingers walking down your back. Come up tall, straighten your front leg. Turn your toes to the side edge of your mat. Feet parallel, or maybe feet turned in slightly. Reach your right arm wide, wide, wide to the side. Keep reaching. Now slow arc down low. You're trying to carve the longest arc you can. Fingers reach to the floor, to the floor, to the floor. Bend your right elbow. Walk your hand, the back of your right hand, up your back toward your left fingers. Remember, avoid arching or jutting your chin forward. Keep your spine long. And as you soften your knees, press into your heels, exhale to fold into jackknife. So pressing the back of your head a little bit into the back of your left forearm helps to strengthen some of your neck extensor muscles. And you feel your whole back, all your postural muscles working here. Smooth breath. So your right elbow's reaching back behind you, left elbow's reaching over your head. Belly strong, toes are relaxed. To rise, reach out through your left elbows. Want to give a sense of coming up taller than you started, taller, longer. And then finally, release your arms, open them wide. Turn your left toes forward for triangle. Right toes might turn in just a little. Stretch your left arm forward. So you're definitely hinging at your hip crease. Your hips will tip over. Stretch as far as you can. Keep your body still and then stack your arms in line with your shoulders. If you want to gaze up, you can look up, you can look down. Keep trying to roll the top hip back and make your spine longer. One more full breath. And then press through your heels to come up. Bend your front knee again, palms down. You're back into side warrior. Lower the back arm as soon as it passes your back thigh, front arm's rising, the back heel lifts, and you transition again to warrior one. Now bend both elbows into cactus, shift your torso forward, and transfer body weight to the front leg. Lift the back knee high as you can. Open your right knee to the side for tree. You can cup your calf, maybe reach down, give yourself some help. Step on your thigh. You can feel the opening, right knee opening wide to the side. Stand tall, cleanse, sweep your hands back, clasp your fingers maybe in the awkward way. So the other first finger on top, knuckles reach down, chest rises, and maybe your knuckles reach away. Take one more deep breath. And then release. Step your right foot back about 2 feet or so, toes forward. This is also called Parsvottanasana. This is actually in our, the forward intense west stretch is in our 11 postures that we'll visit. And I'm going to take it into a twist instead. So as you exhale, hinge at your hips and fold forward just into a jackknife. And in that position with your shoulders a little higher than your hips, you have a little more control of where your pelvis goes. You can help yourself to lengthen your spine. Again, you can work here wherever, whatever arm position you might want to play in. And I'm going to suggest we fold over a little further and get your belly to kind of lengthen along your front thigh. And keeping your spine as long as you possibly can. When you're ready to twist, right fingers can stay under your shoulder, left hand to your hip, point the left elbow up in the air, twist, and maybe reach your left arm up. Keep pressing down into the back heel and stretching out through the crown of your head. Let's take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your hand down. Step your right foot up to meet your left and dangle for a few breaths. So a little rag doll. And you might soften your knees, get your belly on your thighs, relax the weight of your head, let your arms hang. You can catch hold of opposite elbows, let your fingers drip to the floor. Take 2 more deep breaths. Let your fingers touch the floor and step back into down dog. Press hands straight down. Lift your sitting bones straight up or way up and back, up and back. Press your heels down. Take 2 more slow Ujjayi breaths. And on that second exhale, lower both knees. Knees can go wide, tops of the feet to the floor. Drift your hips back into an extended child in Balasana. And just take a few breaths there, letting your hips sink towards your heels. You can also press your hands under your head to create a little cushion. Of course, you're welcome to do that sequence multiple times, or couple this standing sequence with the focus that I mentioned earlier on hips and shoulders. So I'll follow up with that one in just a few, and you have a fabulous day. Jai Bhagwan.